morning, students. Today we are going to discuss lesson number 5 in computer application, and the lesson name is working with Windows operating system. Alright, so already we discussed in our previous lesson regarding operating system. So operating system is nothing but in short it is called as OS, and it is a system software that enables the hardware to communicate and operate with the other softwares. Okay, so operating system, as I said already, operating system is like your heart. Okay, so it's like heart of your computer, and CPU is the brain of your computer, and operating system is heart of your computer. And without an operating system you can't work with your computer. So computer is nothing but it is operating system plus your hardware. Okay, so operating system plus hardware makes your full computer system. So that hardware includes input devices as well as output devices. Alright, so your computer can't understand any human languages, so it can't understand English, or it can't understand Tamil, Malayalam, Telugu, Urdu, etc. Okay, so it can understand only one language, and that is called as machinery language. But that machinery language we don't know to use that machinery language, because it is a combination of binary digits, which is zeros and ones. So we discussed that in second lesson, which is number system. So to communicate with the computer, we need a translator, right? So that translator here is called as the operating system. So the operating system will communicate with the hardware, and then it gives the response to the user. Okay, so the operating system communicates both with the hardware as well as your softwares, application software as well as system software. All right, so this acts as a translator between user and the computer. All right, so it acts as an interface between the user and the hardware and controls the overall execution of the computer. Clear? So in last lesson we discussed about some of the functions of operating system. So in that we discussed about memory management, process management, device management, file management, security management, error detecting aid, and coordination between other softwares and users. So this is this may be asked in a 3-mark question, that is functions of operating system. Okay, so it's enough that you write at least any 5 of the given points. Then this is not in your syllabus, but you just know it. Some of the most popular operating softwares are operating systems are Windows series, okay, Android, iOS. It is used for Apple phones and iPad and iPod, and this Android is used for smartphones. And Linux operating system is an open source software for both desktop as well as servers. Okay, so these are only few operating systems which are listed here, but you have many operating systems. All right, such as you have you have Windows operating system, Android, Apple, Ubuntu, IBM, Oracle, VMware operating system, Mint operating system, Sun, Debian, Zen, Linux, HP OS, Red Hat, Fedora, CentOS, Slackware, Mandria, Gentoo, Darwin, Dragonfly. So like this you have n number of operating system, but we make use of Windows operating system, and then we make use of Linux operating system for mobile phones, Android, and Apple operating system. All right, so apart from these most widely used operating system, even these Ubuntu also nowadays mostly used. Okay, Ubuntu, Linux and all nowadays they are making use of it. All right, okay, then the next one is introduction to Windows operating system. So in your lesson number 5 they have been discussed about Windows operating system. So every computer needs an operating system to function, Microsoft Windows is one of the most popular graphical user interface, which is called as GUI. Okay, so this GUI concept came only after the invention of Windows operating system. All right. So before Windows operating system, we see if you see, this is the olden day computer. So as we discussed in the first lesson, generation of computers. So computers were very big in size. Okay, so 2 to 3 room space will be occupied by a single computer. All right, and then there came monochrome computers, where you will not have any mouse, so each and everything will be coded. Okay, so in the language called as Pascal, Fortran, COBOL, like that, you can't find any icons, desktop, files, folders, anything. Okay, no internet facility, nothing. So even you don't have mouse as your input device. So for each and everything, coding alone fetches the information for you. All right. So they used to call it as CUI. Okay, so they used to call it as CUI, which is character user interface. All right, so this what you see here is called as GUI, graphical user interface, and towards your right side this is called as CUI. So olden days computers, they made use of characters, only characters, character user interface. So it is very difficult to read, and it is very difficult to implement, and it is very difficult to fetch the information from a computer. So later on, once when Windows operating system was found, they make use of this GUI, graphical user interface, so that user can easily identify what is here. So they would have given a small pictorial representation, so that the user can identify that this is a scanner, or this is a printer, so this is a camera, this is a music icon, so like that. Okay, so it is enough that the user can click and they can view what is inside the application, or what is inside this user interface. Okay, so this is called as GUI, and this one is called as CUI, which is character user interface. Alright, so multiple applications can be executed simultaneously, which is known as multitasking. This is a one mark question. So once Windows operating system has been implemented, the term multitasking was made very familiar. Okay, so multitasking is you can do lots of work simultaneously. Okay, so that is called as multitasking. So for example, see, if you take see here, now what I am doing in my system is called as multitasking. See, I am browsing the internet, I am showing the slideshow. Okay, and I have been I opened an application which is called as MS Word. So all these applications are running at the same time, so that is called as multitasking. Okay, so if you see this example, you can see here the user is listening to a music, he is typing some code, he is browsing, and he is calculating something in his calculator, he is drawing something, he is picking some colors here, and he is changing the date and time of his system. Alright, so all these are applications. So all these applications run simultaneously, so that this process is called as multitasking. Clear? Okay, so Windows operating system use both keyboard and mouse as input device. Alright, so keyboard and mouse comes under input devices. The monitor is output device. So mouse is used to interact with Windows by clicking its icon. Keyboard is used to enter alphabets, numerals, and special characters. And then the functions of Windows operating system, and this is another 3 mark question, functions of Windows operating system. So it access application that is called as programs on the computer, for example word processing, games, spreadsheets, calculators, and so on. Load any new programs on the computer. It manages your hardware such as printers, scanners, mouse, speakers, digital cameras, etc. File management activities, for example So for example, in file management activities, you can create a file, you can modify a file, you can save, delete files and folders. So these are all some of the functions of operating system. Okay, so when you create a file, or when you modify a file, when you save a file, or when you delete a file, each and everything will be saved by the file management activities, which is um, um, which is undertaken by the operating system. Okay, so if I open any file in my system, see for example, if I open the G drive question paper, see I have typed question paper. The file name is 11th CS quarterly question paper. See the last date modified, it shows the last date modified, it shows the time, by what time I modified the file, it shows how much size is my file, it shows what sort of file. For example, this file is a Microsoft Word file. So like this, each and everything will be managed by the file management system. Okay, and this is possible only through the operating system, right? And then you can change the computer colors, scheme, screen, that is your desktop screen. You can change your desktop screen, you can change your monitor's resolution, etc. So all these functions of Windows operating system, you can change your color of your system, the file management, and we discussed in the previous lesson that operating system, it controls all the activities of your hardware and your applications. Okay, so it acts as a interface between user and the computer. Alright, so these are the functions of Windows operating system. And then we will move on to the concept called as Windows desktop. Okay, so for viewing your desktop, you press your Win key plus D, Windows key in your keyboard, Windows key plus D. It directly moves on to the first screen. So this screen is called as your desktop screen. Alright, so all these are called as icons. Each and everything here which you see is called as icons. Alright, so this one, this yellow color is called as a folder. This one is a file. Alright, this is a file, this is a picture file, this is a file, and this yellow is called as your folder. This is called as your applications. Okay, so this small arrow mark, nothing but it denotes this is a shortcut icon. This is a shortcut icon for your application. So wherever you see this a small arrow mark below your application, this is a desktop shortcut icon. Okay, so the original file will reside in C drive program files. Okay, see you can see here itself. See, when I move the cursor, it shows the location of this Adobe Reader. See, it's telling that it's inside C program, C drive program files, and inside Adobe folder, inside Reader 11.0, I have this application. So this, what you see on your desktop, is a shortcut desktop icon for your application. All right. So the opening screen of Windows is called as desktop. This is a one mark question. The desktop of your computer may look different from what you see in the image which is shown. That is in your textbook, they would given some other desktop screen. So it differs from system to system. All right. So it is under user control. So the user may change any desktop screen or any wallpapers which they prefer. And this is because Windows allows you to change the appearance of the desktop. In the image, the desktop shows the start button, taskbar, notification area, date and time. Alright, so if you see here, it shows icons, it shows your taskbar. This is called as your taskbar, and this one is your system tray. Okay, this one is your search button, this one is your start button. Clear? Then this is a preview of your Windows 7 desktop. So what you are seeing here is Windows 10. Okay, so see here the icon is Windows 10 icon, and what you see here is Windows 7 desktop, and your start button will look like this. So, and this is called as your notification area. This blue screen is called as your desktop. Then here towards your right end of your taskbar, you can see a button called as arrow pick button. Alright, so what does this arrow pick button does is, here in Windows 10 you may not have this arrow pick button, but here to the dead end, that is called as your arrow pick button. So what is the use of that arrow pick button is, see, I am opening 1, 2, 3 applications. Okay, so I opened 3 applications. Alright, so the use of this arrow pick button is, once I move my mouse cursor towards my arrow pick button, it can directly go on to your desktop screen. Okay, without minimizing all these 3 applications, it directly you can directly view your desktop. See, for example, I maximized all the 3 applications, so I am moving the cursor towards the dead end of my taskbar. Okay, so can you see here? Okay, alright, see here again I am showing. See, I opened the application and I am moving towards the dead end of, 1 second. So I open the first application, second one and third one. See here, I am moving to the dead end of the taskbar, which is called as the arrow pick button. So I didn't minimize any 3 of the application, but once I drag over the arrow pick button, I can see directly the desktop screen. Alright, so this is a use of arrow pick button. Without minimizing any application, I can directly see my desktop screen. So that is the use of arrow pick button. Alright, then the next one is icons. So as I said earlier, icon is a graphic symbol representing the Windows element like files, folders, shortcuts, etc. Icons play a vital role in GUI based application. So in the do you know, they given a small tip to view the desktop, and this I said while I started the class itself. So you can move to the desktop at, by any time by pressing the Win key plus, that is window key is called as Win key plus D, or using arrow pick while working in any application. So just now we saw the example to how to use this arrow pick button without minimizing any application. Alright, so arrow pick while working in any application. The next one is called as standard icons. The icons which are available on desktop by default while installing the Windows operating system are called as standard icons. The standard icons available in all Windows operating system. So some of the standard icons are My Computer, My Documents and Recycle Bin. Okay, so if you see here, see this My Computer icon, and this icon too differs from version to version of Windows. Okay, so my Computer icon, so here it is called as this PC, and a network, a Recycle Bin, okay, My Documents and all. So these are some of the standard icons. All right, then next one is called as shortcut icons. So shortcut icons can be created for any application or file or folder. Okay, so these are all some of the shortcut icon. So as I said, see here, so this is a shortcut icon, this is a shortcut icon, this is a shortcut icon. Alright, so everything, all the applications which are stored inside the C programs, C drive program files. So for each and every application, here we have our shortcut icons. Instead of getting inside this My Computer, C drive, program files, okay, Adobe, like this, see Photoshop 7, and here I will have the application. So instead of going such a long process, I will directly click my shortcut icon, which is here itself. Okay, by pressing the start button, and here is my application, or else just go inside start button and you just type Adobe Photoshop, and from here itself I can take Adobe Photoshop 7.0 2020 like that. Clear? So by double clicking the icon, the related application or file or folder will open. This represents the shortcut to open a particular application. So for any application or files or folders, double click and the file is open or the folder is open. Okay, and for even for any application, you just double click on the files or folders or application to open it. Then this one is another type of icon which is called as disk drive icons. Okay, so this is called as disk drive icon. See, in my computer I have C drive, E drive, F drive, G drive, and if I insert any pen drive, and it will show the USB drive. Okay, so this is called as disk drive icon. So here itself the name is given, devices and drives. All right, so it represents 5 disk drive options. One is hard disk, CD-ROM or DVD drive, pen drive, that is portable or other removable storage such as mobile, smartphones, tablet, etc. And then the fifth one is network drives if your system is connected with other system. Okay, so see here, this is network drive. So in this example, a folder has been shared with another drive in another system. So that is the reason here it is showing the network drive. See, the shared folder they have written here. Okay, then we will move on to the next topic, which is called as elements of a window. Alright, so this is an OpenOffice Writer application, that is MS Word application like that. So this element of Windows consists of title bar. Okay, so this is called as corners. So all the 4 sides you will have corners, and this one is your borders. All the 4 sides you will have borders and corners. Alright, so inside below title bar you will have menu bar. So file, edit, view, insert like this, and then this is formatting toolbar. So all the things you will have, and inside this you will have the white space, which is called as a working area or workspace. So here this is called as your scrolling bar. Okay, so you have towards your right hand side and you will have towards your bottom of your application. So these are all some of the elements of an application window. Okay, so now we will see one by one. The first one is title bar. So the title bar will display the name of the application and the name of the document open. Okay, so here this one is called as your title bar. So by default your title will be as untitled 1 like that. So this is your title bar, and in that title bar you will have 3 buttons, which is called as minimize, maximize and close button. Okay, so if you see here, I am opening MS Word. Alright, so this one here it is called as document 1. So this is your this is my title bar, and here I am having all the 3 buttons. So which is minimize, it will go directly to the taskbar panel. Maximize, it will again bring to the original position, and close will close the application. Okay, so this one is my working area, so where I can type the content. Alright, so this is called as menu bar. Okay, so home menu, insert menu, page layout menu, all these things are called as my menu bar, and this one is my title bar. Then next one is my menu bar. So the menu bar is seen under the title bar. See, as I said before, all the file menu, edit menu, all these things are called as menu bar, and this one is also called as menu bar. If menu bar is not shown, and you go in Windows 7, you click organize. Inside that organize you will have layout, and inside that layout you choose menu bar. Okay, if menu bar is not seen in any application, you should use these steps to enable your menu bar. Okay, so menus in the menu bar can be accessed by pressing Alt key and the letter that appears underlined. Okay, in Windows 7 you may see that in menu bar you will see that menu as well as the underlined text, underlined word. Okay, so even in your textbook it will be visible, but here I am using Windows 10 so that you can't see the you can see the menu bar, but you can't see which letter has been underlined. Okay, see, for example, if I want to choose page layout, so see here, page layout, and what I will do is I will press Alt plus P. Can you see now the shortcut is visible? Okay, I have pressed Alt plus P, so that Alt page layout tab has been activated, and for each and everything they have given the shortcut key. That is, if I want to choose orientation, I should press Alt plus O. Okay, see, for example, Alt O. So orientation is activated. Inside orientation I have portrait orientation and page landscape orientation. Okay, so this is what they are telling, that press Alt plus the underlined text. See, again I am pressing Alt P, and if I want to go to column divider, I should press Alt plus J. Clear? So this is what is discussed there. Okay, so additionally, by pressing Alt or F10 brings the focus on the first menu of the menu bar. So if I press Alt or F10, okay, if I am in 5th menu bar or in 6th menu, so I want to go to the first menu, it's enough that I should press Alt key or F10 key. Okay, so that it brings the focus to the first menu of the menu bar. Clear? So in Windows 7, in the absence of the menu bar, click Organize, and from the drop down menu click the layout option and select the desired item from that list. So here it is given there. So if it is not present, choose Organize, and from the drop down list you choose layout, and from that layout you choose the menu bar option. Okay. Then the next one is elements of Windows. In elements of Windows we are going to see about workspace. So as I said before, workspace is nothing but in any application the white area which you see here is called as your workspace. So it is used to enter your text, or it is used to draw something, or it is used to calculate something here. So in any application in which space you are working is called as your workspace. Okay. Then next one is scroll bars, and scroll bars are nothing but it is used to scroll the workspace horizontally or vertically. Clear? So you can see in any application towards your right hand side as well as the bottom of your application, you can see these two scroll bars, where this scroll bar is used to scroll your document up and down, and this one is used to move towards your left and right. The next one in elements of Windows we are going to see about corners and borders, and that is very clearly explained here in this diagram. So for any application you will have 4 corners as well as borders. Okay, so this is called as a border, and where 2 borders gets connected, that is called as corners. So the corners and borders of a window helps to drag and resize the windows. The mouse pointer changes to a double-headed arrow mark when positioned over a border or a corner. Drag the border or corner in the direction indicated by the double-headed arrow to the desired size as shown in the image. The window can be resized by dragging the corners diagonally across the screen. Okay, so it's a very long paragraph, but the concept is very simple. See, for example, see, this is my application, Word application, and if I move my mouse towards the border, and you can see the cursor changes into a double-headed arrow mark. This is called as a double-headed arrow mark. Okay, so that I can click and drag so that the size of my application can be resized. Okay, and if I move towards a corner, it will be like this double-headed arrow mark, so that I can resize my application. So this is the use of corners and borders. It is mainly used to resize. Okay, here it is given. Okay, it is used to resize the windows. Clear? Then the next thing is taskbar. So taskbar is, so here which you see in your desktop screen, at the bottom of your screen is called as your taskbar. Okay, so in the taskbar you have a start button, and this area is called as your notification area. Okay, this area is called as a notification area, and these things are called as your minimized program folders. Okay, so see here, so these three are my minimized programs. Okay, minimized programs, so that is what is said there, minimized program folders. And here which you see is en is nothing but default language for your system, which is English, and this one is network icon, this one is volume control, and this one is time and date, and the last one here you can see the arrow pick button. Okay, so in your taskbar you have start button, minimized program folders, notification area, and in that notification area you can see your default language, network icons, volume control, date and time, and your arrow pick button. So these are some of the versions of Windows and icons. So in Windows XP your My Computer icon will be like this, in Windows 7 like this, and in Windows 8 it is like this, and the term is this PC, and in Windows 10 is this, and the term is this PC. Okay, then this managing and files and folders is a 5 mark, very important 5 mark question, and this will discuss in the classroom session. So please go through the window thoroughly. If you have any doubts, just clarify it immediately in the classroom session itself. Thank you, children.